These are some truly sick MFers that Trump has working for him. These are some of the sickest people who have ever been in American government, I believe. Donald Trump has assembled an administration of people who can look directly at the damage that they are causing and blame absolutely everybody else, as I almost knock my microphone off the table here. ICE agents kill people. Just blame Democrats because they criticized ICE. Gas is up over $4 a gallon again. Say Donald Trump has saved us billions of dollars. Here is a clip of Tom Homan saying he predicted that there would be bloodshed, and he was right. Except the bloodshed is because of ICE. Take a look at this.
Is there any other procedure or protocol on the ground changing? Stops?
There's already, the director of ICE decided that, there needs to be at least one body camera on the scene. And again, I'm a big supporter of the body cameras. And as more body camera kits out there, that'll happen.
That's the only change.
But let's be clear, you can attack the men and women at ICE all you want. It comes down to one simple fact. These people fail to comply with law enforcement. Even some of the major chiefs in this country who don't necessarily agree with this administration says you always comply with law enforcement. But the hateful rhetoric that ICE isn't a real law enforcement agency. I see these signs that were resist. ICE are let's abolish them, they're fascists. When you keep that hateful rhetoric up for a year and a half, there's going to be that percentage of that left population that it's going to be emboldened to take action because they're not a real law enforcement agency. I should resist them. All they had to do is simply comply with law enforcement. If you don't like what law enforcement did to you, then go to the courts, sue, call the ACLU, do whatever you want to do. But you should always comply with law enforcement. If they did, they'd be alive today. Now, I'm not going to comment on the investigation itself and wait for it to play out. This is about complying with law enforcement, and a lot of the negative, hateful, and I said this a year ago, if a hateful rhetoric doesn't stop, there will be bloodshed. And unfortunately, I was right. Now, I'll tell you something else. It's not over yet. Unless they keep attacking and miscommunicating what ICE does every day, calling them Nazis, and comparing ICE to the Nazi regime. Are you kidding me?
Notice what Tom Homan is doing here. He predicted bloodshed. He helped oversee the operation that produces the bloodshed. And now he goes, I was a prophet. He might as well have said, I will be directing ICE to create bloodshed, because that's ultimately what he did. We have double digits of people fatally shot by federal immigration officers during Donald Trump's second term. 2 men were killed by ICE agents just recently. It seems as though they weren't even the people ICE was looking for. Even if they were, it wouldn't have been right to kill them, but it seems they were the wrong people. So when Tom Homan goes, unfortunately, I was right, he wants you to imagine anti-ICE protesters attacking innocent federal agents. The bloodshed has been inflicted by ICE. And then comes the threat. Stop criticizing us. Stop telling people to resist. Let ICE enforce the law, and the bloodshed is going to stop. Profoundly and disgustingly authoritarian. Government agents use deadly force, and the government responds by blaming people who were criticizing the use of the deadly force. And it's a very clear message. Speak out against what we're doing. God forbid you act against what we're doing in a constitutionally protected way. Anything that happens after that is your fault. And then we move from an absolutely disgusting lie about violence to an absolutely ridiculous lie about prices. Here is Doug Burgum, Secretary of the Interior. As gas prices are up over $4 a gallon again, Trump is a great leader who knows how to get prices down. Take a look.
Got to start with the tough stuff, and that's the price of gas at the pump. One of the few things that Obama said that I agreed with was it does affect elections, and it is up. Now, it's still way below the $5 plus that it was under the Biden administration, where it went up in today's dollars up to $5.60, but it is moving in the wrong direction. Is there any way, I know it's all based on what's happening with the Strait of Hormuz and Iran, is there any way to work around Iran, that is to pump more, to develop more pipelines in the Mideast, to get around the Iranian hump, if you will?
Well, yes, David and Jackie, there certainly is. And I had meetings earlier this week with leaders from Saudi Arabia and UAE. Both of those countries are looking at major infrastructure projects to try to look at land-based pipeline and other solutions to be able to ship their product and get it onto the world market. But here at home, of course, under President Trump's energy dominance policy, the United States producing more oil than we've ever produced, largest producer in the world of oil, now the largest producer of natural gas in the world, largest exporter of LNG in the world. And President Trump's energy dominance policy was always about selling energy to our friends and allies so they don't have to buy it from our adversaries like Iran or like Russia. And as you saw, the prices plummeted last year when President Trump was elected. They will go down again under President Trump's policies. He's the one leader that knows how to get prices down. It's increased supply. And his policies are allowing American innovation to do that at record levels.
Yeah.
We are back beyond $4 per gallon nationally, 86 cents higher than a year ago. Diesel above $5 a gallon. Prices are not down. Prices are up. And a huge reason is Donald Trump's disastrous war with Iran. The collapse of the very brief agreement that reduced tensions has spiked prices again. Strait of Hormuz is a complete and total mess. He campaigned on affordability. He said, under my watch, energy prices will be cut in half. Americans are paying more. Fuel is up, home heating oil is up, and we're in the middle of another war, and Americans are dying. Doug Burgum's defense is effectively ignore the numbers you see on the gas pump, ignore your gas bill, ignore your oil bill. Trump knows how to lower prices. What? And it gets even more insulting as Burgum argues that billions of dollars are being saved because Donald Trump is in charge. Take a look.
Back in for the same price. They're already saving Americans billions of dollars because we've got business leaders like President Trump driving our energy policy.
That's fantastic.
Saving Americans billions. Where? Come on, dude. American households have reportedly spent more than an extra $70 billion on fuel since the start of the war, which of course is now into week 21. Every truck delivering food is paying more for their fuel. Every airline is paying more for fuel. And these costs reach everything Americans buy. It's like the tariffs. They are passed on mostly to the consumer. Trump is not a business leader brought in to clean this up. He's the president whose decisions helped create the crisis. It's the defining strategy of the Trump administration. Create a disaster, announce you predicted it, but blame someone else for it, and then get credit when you partially fix it, even though, big picture, it keeps getting worse. Here's just a bonus one. Peter Navarro on beef prices. They now are going all in on beef. And he goes, it's the cartels that are the problem. Well, let's talk about that in a second.
The trends are down. Which is not to say we don't have some issues. Beef has been kind of the holy grail of me trying to figure out the best ways to get it down. So we're cracking down on the cartels that run the beef processing, things like that. So just a lot of things going on there.
Got it.
There is a legitimate issue with concentration in meat processing. That's real. 4 massive companies control most beef processing in the United States. That gives them huge power over the ranchers, over the consumers. Antitrust enforcement is overdue. We're not doing it. We have the laws in place. We just don't do it. But Peter Navarro is taking a legitimate concern to distract from the real reasons that beef prices are so high. The American cattle supply is near its lowest level in decades. Years of drought made feeding cattle more expensive, and it pushed ranchers to reduce the size of their herds through various means. So rebuilding those herds takes a long time. You can't manufacture cattle overnight. And then Trump goes and he adds more pressure. He does tariffs. He does immigration crackdowns, which affect agricultural labor and labor for these meat producers, and a war that drives up fuel and transportation costs. So Navarro wants credit for cracking down on cartels, which they're not actually doing. We should, but you're not actually doing it. But it's not even really the reason that prices are so high. And a lot of the reasons that prices are so high have directly to do with Donald Trump. So Tom Homan does it with bloodshed. Doug Burgum does it with energy prices. Peter Navarro tries to do it with beef prices. And Donald Trump does it with the entire country. They assume that if they speak this way to you, they assume you're stupid. That if you sound confident, it's kind of like the Ben Shapiro thing. Speak quickly and confidently and people will believe you. They assume if they repeat it confidently enough, lie and lie and lie, people will stop believing, I'm seeing the beef prices, I'm seeing the gas prices, I'm seeing all of it. Don't believe that. Believe what Burgum and Navarro and Homan and certainly Trump tell you. I don't think the American people are falling for it. And if you look at the polling on the state of the economy and the direction it's going, it seems evident that they are not. Now we've got to punish them at the ballot box. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video. And if you like our content, make sure to subscribe so YouTube puts our videos in your feed, and subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple.